D, wait for it, Lightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I'm coming to you today from this story. This is an older, it's an older story. I was gonna do it, earlier, but I just didn't have time, yada yada yada. But I wanted to talk about it because I find it very fascinating and it's DC related, and I want to talk about anything DC related. Anyway, so this comes from Deadline. This says Mike Flanagan pitches pick on Facebook to Warner Brothers DC, and says the dish, but and I do want to talk about this, but I'll mention it as we go along. I have something to say about certain things, but okay. So it says Dr. Sleep filmmaker Mike Flanagan has pitched a feature version of Clayface over at the studio, several sources tell Deadline. However, no word on green light yet, and the studio has not said no. There are no offers and no deals, though typically a DC supervillain in the Flanagan pick, should it move forward, he wouldn't be a bad guy, so we hear. So I want to real quick say something. Before this whole situation, I thought I had read, and I tried to find the tweet or something like that. I thought I had read something about how he had said he had already pitched this horror movie, this Clayface horror movie, to Warner Brothers, and they said no. So I don't know. I can't remember if they mentioned it in this one, but we'll talk about it if they don't. But let's move forward, because and I'll tell you my thoughts on the whole situation. Okay, so word is that Mike Flanagan and his Intrepid Pictures partner Trevor Macy had a meeting with DC bosses James Gunn and Peter Safran. Flanagan, we understand, wasn't pitching the character to be part of the Matt Reeves DC Elseworld, the Batman 2 set for October 3rd, 2025 release date. That said, other sources are telling us that scripts are constantly changing and that Clayface is a big addition to Matt Reeves' The Batman 2. Let's wait until the dust settles here and something moves forward. It remains to be seen whether Clayface is a connection between the Batman 2, Elseworld, and James Gunn and Safran's feature and series sprawling DC's Gods and Monsters Chapter 1. I just have to say, I do not like the thought. I didn't like the Batman. I did a review for it where I said I did liked it, but that was the first time I had seen it, and it was right after the theater, and or right after I'd watched it here at home, and it was just my initial thoughts. But I've watched it twice since I watched it a total of 3 times, and it's just not, like, I have so many thoughts on it. It's not good. It's just not good. But if you like it, I'm not judging. I'm not telling you if you should like it or not. I'm just telling you I personally didn't like it. Let's read the rest of it, and I'll tell you more of my thoughts. But Clayface got his DC introduction as part of the Detective Comics number 40 in June of 1940. While there would eventually be a number of shape-shifting DC antagonists using that alias, the original Clayface was a monetarily successful actor who adopted the identity of a character he portrayed in a horror pick after turning to crime. Real quick, I want to go back to the Batman 2 real quick. If they do have Clayface in there, I think that they need to spend the money on the visual effects. They can't skimp on the visual effects. Clayface is a visually like he's always shape-shifting. He's like, I think that my favorite interpretation is him as him in Batman the Animated Series. That was the best interpretation for me. And he was constantly changing. It was very, very good. Okay. So, where was I? He's a frequent adversary of Batman with a body seemingly made out of clay, who has apparently over the years in numerous films, television series, animated works, video games, and other forms of media, being portrayed on the series Gotham, the CW, and Pennyworth, that was by Brian McKenman and Lauren Burrow, respectively. The rationale behind Clayface's appearance emerged in comics of the 1970s, which evolved the character into a scientist with hormone irregularities. Hold on, let me just see. Okay. Flanagan has been very vocal in the past about his interest in making a Clayface film, stating in one 2021 tweet that he had okay, here we go. This is where I thought he had said it, tweet where he had approached it as a standalone horror / thriller / tragedy. He also noted that that he's long waited to put his stamp on Superman, though new DC chief James Gunn is currently gearing up to do that himself, directing Superman Legacy from his own script. As the first film in the inaugural phase of his new DC, Flanagan revealed in a recent installment of the Script Apart podcast that he expressed interest in a horror-leaning take on the character during a recent general meeting with the veteran DC producer John Byrne. Also pitching takes on such characters and properties as Scarecrow, Justice League Dark, and Constantine. The film, I think that Mike Flanagan would do a really good Justice League Dark or a Constantine movie. I think that since his horror, he's got a very big horror background. I think he would be very good with that. Yeah. Okay. The filmmaker added that at the time of the meeting kind of went nowhere. Best known for popular Netflix horror series, including The Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor. I love The Haunting of Hill House. That is so good. Such a good series. Bly Manor was not that great. I mean, it was okay, but not that great. And then Midnight Mass was good too. I liked that Midnight Mass a lot. As well as his feature adaptation of Stephen King's The Shining follow-up, Dr. Sleep. Dr. Sleep, I didn't dislike Dr. Sleep. There were things that I didn't like about Dr. Sleep, but I will say I did like Dr. Sleep. Flanagan, it's not the best. I don't think it's the best thing he's done, but I did like it. Also currently developing a series adaptation of Stephen King's The Dark Tower alongside Trevor Macy. And 1st December, he is repped by Who Cares? Okay, so it says right here, well, I've wanted to do a Superman movie since I was a kid, but I would also be really keen on a standalone Clayface movie as a horror / thriller / tragedy. All right, maybe that's not what I had seen before, but okay, so I think that if they do him as I don't want him in the Batman 2. I just don't want him in the Batman. I want the Matt Reeves verse to go away. I didn't like it. That's just my thing. But if they do have Clayface in there, I do not want him as his original interpretation. I want him as the big clump of clay with arms and legs just walking around, shift shape like it is right here, right? It is right here. Shape shifting into other people. And I want to see him shape shift into other people. You remember in X-Men 2 or in the other X-Men movies where Mystique walked behind that column and she changed into a senator, what's his face? Senator, whatever. That was okay. But when they were doing it with the Jennifer Lawrence stuff, it would go you hear the noise and then the camera would turn over and she'd be somebody new. And I'm all like, nobody wants to see that. We want to see you shape shift into it. That's what we want. So you got to spend the money. In terms of and I don't want him in a standalone movie. And this is why, because they're trying to make him into not a bad guy. I don't want to see, I think it said that right down here somewhere. I can't remember where it said it at. Oh, okay. So, right here where it said he wouldn't be a bad guy. So we hear, and I'm not interested in seeing him into being, DC's version of Deadpool, where or a Venom, where he's an anti-hero. I'm not interested in that. Clayface is a villain. He's a bad guy. And I like the fact that he's an actor that can change his form to become other people. I like that idea. I do not like him as a good guy in any way, shape, or form. He's a bad guy. He's a bad person. Make him a bad person. End of story. But I would be interested in seeing Clayface in anything. Live action Clayface in anything would be fun. And like they said, it was in Gotham and in Pennyworth. I only watched the first season of Pennyworth. It was not that great. I had to bail. But they also, I don't think they mentioned that Clayface does make an appearance live action wise in that Birds of Prey show that only lasted one season. He does make an appearance in that one, I believe, in just one episode. But yeah. All right, you guys, that's all I got for this Mike Flanagan Clayface movie. Tell me, what do you guys think about this? Was this something that you're interested in? Or do you think this sounds great? Do you want to see Clayface as a good guy or at least an anti-hero? Like Venom, but just Clayface? Or do you want to just see him? Do you want to see him in Batman 2? Or do you want me like me? You want to see him, he's a bad guy. Make him bad. I want my bad guy's bad and my good guy's good. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go hit that like button. You know, I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys on my next video. You guys have a good day. Bye.